And so another frequently asked question, which I'm going to discuss, if I can just minimize my face, there we go. So something today I'm going to talk about is the weight fluctuations that you see on the scale day to day. So firstly, weighing yourself is a great metric to determine your progress if you're looking for fat loss and or muscle gain, because you can determine, are the amount of calories I'm eating ensuring I'm in a deficit or a surplus or maintenance. It's a really good metric to use to determine the accuracy of your calories in versus calories out. But also, it's very unreliable at the same time, because for example, specifically with fat loss, there are so many factors that affect your weight aside from fat loss. So for example, if you're weighing yourself, the weight that you see on the scale isn't just your fat mass, it's your water weight, your organs, your muscle tissue, your bones. It's everything in your body, and it isn't just the fat that can increase or decrease. So if let's say one day you're in a, let's say, third week of being in a calorie deficit, you've been losing weight sustainably, and then all of a sudden, let's say your weight plateaus or it even goes up, but you're still in a calorie deficit. Some people freak out and they think, it's not working what I'm doing, when actually, like I just said, there are so many factors that do influence your weight aside from fat. So for example, if you were to have, the night before you weighed yourself, you were to have a really high carb, high salt meal, you're going to be probably way more than usual the next morning, because high salt increases the water retention. It causes your body to retain more water. Sorry about that. And a high carbohydrate diet also means that your body has more glycogen, which is basically the stored form of carbohydrate in your muscles and your liver. And in order to form glycogen, you need to also pull in water to the muscles. So obviously that's going to increase your weight. Your menstrual cycle, in the luteal phase of your menstrual cycle, so the second half, days 15 to 28, you're going to have increased water retention due to the increasing levels of the hormone progesterone. Aside from that, if you're weighing yourself and you haven't been to the toilet, you haven't had a poo, you've got all the weight of your digestive tract and all the contents on the scale. Stress can influence water retention. There's so many factors, so don't be disheartened if your scale isn't telling you what you want to hear. Not that your scale speaking to you, but ensure that you're using other measurements aside from the scale, such as like literal measurements, photos, and just general kind of subjective metrics as to how you feel. Because if you're just relying on the scale, then there's going to be times when you are going to feel demotivated, because it isn't necessarily going to directly correspond to the efforts that you're putting in and or the accuracy of your calorie deficit. So I guess the best time to weigh yourself, and the best way to do it, the best time to weigh yourself is every single morning before you eat, after you've had a poo and a wee, and without clothes on, and do so consistently. Make sure that when you weigh yourself, it's in the exact same conditions, and also I have lost words in my head. I have a note here. And also, it's quite common among things like Weight Watchers and kind of big diet brands that don't really work. To have like a weigh-in day, when actually that is really, if you are just using your weight to measure progress, that's a really unreliable way, because if you're weighing, let's say, every single Saturday, and as we've just said, your weight is influenced by so many other factors, you do not know how representative that weight that you've taken on Saturday is of your actual fat loss. Whereas if you were to take, the best way to do it, the way I advise my clients to do it, is weigh yourself every single day and then take a weekly average of that weight, and then you can look at the trends of the data and see, you have a proper reflection of your true weight, aside from all the influencing factors such as sodium, water retention, glycogen, hormones and all that. So you can have a real kind of reflection of your fat loss over a period of time. So takeaway points: don't stress about your weight. Use other metrics such as measurements, photos, subjective scores. 3, weigh yourself every single morning after the toilet before eating, without any clothes on. 4, every morning, and calculate the average and work out the trends. Don't have weigh-in days. And if you don't weigh yourself, don't weigh yourself, but it's a good metric for determining your progress. And also try not to attach too many emotions to it, because it's just, your connection between yourself and gravity. It's not that deep. Hopefully that was helpful. Any questions, do let me know, and I'll see you soon.